this hurts just as much to watch as it did for him to go through it. At an Omaha Beach event honoring the 80th anniversary of the D-Day invasion, Dr. Jill Biden escorts Joe Biden away, leaving a seemingly perplexed French president, Emmanuel Macron, to honor World War II. Now, what's going on with the president? I don't know. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? He needed some assistance. He had to come get his wife to come, grab him. Probably had to change his diaper. We really don't know. We really don't know. I know, Biden has been blanking out everywhere he goes, bro. Like, literally. Some people are even saying that he pooped on himself. Literally, I'm not even joking. I thought it was a joke until I seen multiple comments of people saying that Biden on himself on stage for all the world to see, immediately followed by Jill grabbing him by the hand and walking him off stage and leaving Macron and his wife standing there to be dumbfounded. Woo woo. Today we are celebrating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Shout out to Byron Donalds, who put me on game to exactly what it is. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. These are things that I get educated about late. Before I was paying attention to what was happening in the world, a lot of these days will go over my head, but man, I'd be damned if I don't honor those who fought for my freedom, Now, it says 80 years ago today, Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy. The U.S., UK, and Canadian forces assembled were the largest amphibious invasion force in history, and their consequential success by land, air, and sea marked a turning point in World War II. We will never forget these brave heroes for sure, man. Let's go ahead and read some of these comments. They fought to protect America from tyranny. The same tyranny that's rampant in America today definitely is growing if we don't change things by November. I'm gonna just say that. My father and my father-in-law were both in the military during World War II. Thank you and all of the brave men. Thank you for what you've contributed to this country and contributed to our freedoms and our victor mindset, not victim mindset. You guys went through the ringer to make sure that we can be victorious. To think the person you support for president, he called all these dead and alive soldiers suckers and losers. He said, what was in it for them? This man, Trump, isn't worth one vote. Somebody wrote. I don't know where that came from. I didn't know who they was talking about. But we're going to read a few more and then get on. Thank you for this message. I will thank all who take their time to remember and be grateful for the sacrifice of so many. This is a nonpartisan day of tribute to such a wonderful generation. Yes, for sure. Let's read one more. Somebody looked like a scripture right here. Quote, greater love has no one than this. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life. End quote. John 15:13. God bless the men who laid down their lives for freedom, liberation, and our republic on the beaches of Normandy 80 years ago today. So I know we played that first clip, but now we're gonna play it all in sequence, how they all happen. We got 4 clips here, and shout out to Greg Price. He says Joe Biden highlights in Normandy on the 80th anniversary of D-Day, sits in an invisible chair, forgets where his seat is, talks about how many Russians died in Ukraine, and gets pulled away by Jill as Macron greets D-Day veterans. Y'all check this out.
Distinguished guests, please welcome the Honorable Lloyd J. Austin.
So that was the first clip, y'all. Let's go to the second clip. This is apparently where he forgets where his seat is. Ouch. And then the very next one, they says he talks about how many Russians died in Ukraine.
They've inflicted on the Russian aggressor, they've suffered tremendous losses in Russia. The numbers are staggering. 350,000 Russian troops dead or wounded.
Wow, man. And last but not least, the one that we seen in the beginning gets pulled away by Jill Biden as Macron greets D-Day. And there you have it, y'all. This is the leader of the free world, everyone. Man, at this point, we need to just have a serious conversation. It's like, okay, even if you like Joe Biden, that's cool, not cool, but, it's cool. Even if you like him, you would really want somebody running a free world who's obviously on a decline. The man is aging. It's a part of life. I get it, but right now he's not in the state where he can run this country. You have America laughing at us. Not only that, the support for Biden is plummeting. And Biden hit with staggering drop in support from key voting groups as well.
Let's bring in the host of the Grace Curley Show, Grace Curley. Grace, 80 years ago, like we were saying, those soldiers landed on Normandy, certain they would die, hoping that they wouldn't, but bravely fought for freedom. How are you reflecting on this today?
Oh, Carly, what you said before about it being the 80th anniversary and how this is a final goodbye, I mean, it's absolutely true. I would really encourage people to listen to FDR's prayer and also the way he appealed to the American people to partake in prayer, not just on D-Day, but, the days that followed, and telling them the magnitude of this and the sacrifice that those men were making. It's so moving. It's so inspiring. And it really gives you pause. You have to reflect and you have to think about where we're at as a country and as a world, and just really appreciate the sacrifice that those men made. I mean, the bravery is astounding.
Well said. There is other news on this June 6, 2024. Former President Trump has narrowed down his VP search. Let's take a look at the list. We've got Burgum, Rubio, Vance, Cotton, Scott.
Sounds like we got another video coming up, guys.
Donald, Stefanik, and Carson. Those are the ones we know about. Grace, whether on that list or not, is there anyone who brings Donald J. Trump a vote that he wouldn't otherwise have on these lists?
I can't just say that.
That's a really good question.
Just looking at this right here, I don't know who Doug Burgum is. I know who Marco Rubio is. I vaguely know about J.D. Vance. Tom Cotton, don't know nothing about him. Tim Scott, he's already known as like the pick me and all that from the black community. To those who are ignorant to what's happening around in the world, Byron Donalds in the same category, but I do know that they, Ben Carson as well, them being black could definitely help transform some minds eventually. At least Stefanik, I really, really like her though. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, she cool.
I know that Byron Donalds has been very vocal, and he was recently in Philadelphia reaching out to the black community. That's a demographic that hasn't typically gone for Republicans. So maybe on that front, but it's really interesting to watch this kind of VP process go down. Miranda Devine described it as The Apprentice, and the longer it goes on and the more suspense that there is, it really does feel like Donald Trump's having a little bit of fun making all of these people kind of wait with bated breath.
Yeah, and a name that isn't on the list is Nikki Haley, although Donald Trump did recently say that she would be on the team in some capacity. Not sure if it's the campaign team or a part of the potential administration.
I ain't gonna lie, she's somebody I'm hella sketchy about. Super sketchy. And she's been known to be a liar, a traitor, switch sides, everything.
If he wins in November, but we'll wait and see on that front. Grace, there's also some new polling, several new polls that we want to ask you about just came out. Quinnipiac poll, latest Georgia polling has Trump at 49%, Biden at 44%, so yes. 5+ to Trump there. And then there's another poll that shows just an unbelievably staggering drop in Black, Latino, and Asian support for Joe Biden. Now, the Biden campaign has continued to dismiss these polls. They say it's too far out. Once people start focusing on the election between Biden and Trump, a lot of these people are going to come back to the Biden camp. What do you think about that?
That's a risky gamble. And, you know, I was thinking about this yesterday because there's all these reports out about where Trump is going. He's going to California. He's sending some of his surrogates, like I mentioned, to Philadelphia to talk to Black voters. And I think that what Donald Trump knows from 2016 and from watching Hillary Clinton campaign, and what everyone should know at this point, is you can't rely on those polls. So while it's great to see for Republicans that maybe they're widening the 10, it doesn't mean that you can give up on the ground game. It doesn't mean that you can just assume people are going to vote for you. You have to make the case. You have to make your best pitch as to why you're a better fit for this country.
I'll tell you what, just go to the gas station. Hey, the other candidate got my vote off of that alone.
Why you're going to deliver results. And I think that that's what Trump's trying to do, and I think it's a smart move.
Yeah, you said the two key words, ground game. They got to get out there. Great.
I'm trying to tell y'all, what other options do the Democrats have? Given that Joe Biden is declining in popularity and cognizance, what other option do they have? Assuming that they want to win the presidency, I can only think of one option. And I just pray that that don't happen. Let me just put it like that. This definitely transformed from Joe Biden to a Trump conversation in terms of the polling. But I mean, this is a direct reflection of the American people's views on Biden. We got an example of the type of person that he is in terms of his decline, in terms of his awareness, in terms of him actually being there, you know, not a shell of a man. And we're seeing how the world is laughing at him. We see how he's not even able to commemorate our veterans and the people who fought for our freedoms and all of that. Meanwhile, you got the legacy media trying to pitch it to us like Joe Biden is the it factor. He's that guy. He's the one. Nah, man. Trump 2024. Y'all see what's going on. Now, before I do get up out of here, since we're not gonna make this a separate video, they already talked about the VP and everything. I don't know why. What's the point of anyhow? Who do y'all think will make a great vice president? I already told y'all I like Elise. I do like Byron Donalds. I really do like them too. My main one was Vivek, but I can see Vivek being a conflict of interest in terms of dominant personalities and yada, 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 just on some, outlook type deal for the American people, power struggles or whatever. But I feel like they'd be able to work together comfortably, and having two powerhouse superstars, political superstars, I'll say that, on one team, man, unstoppable. Not to demean any of the other VP candidates potential candidates as well. But yeah, man, Biden out here, he's making it worse for everybody, And today he got dragged off the stage to get his diaper changed.